computer. All right, welcome to week 6, the last week. Look at this.
Wow.
Happy Valentine's Day. 15. Oh, Julie, get in. There you go.
What
16.
better way to spend the
17.
day than with each other?
Anyone get a happy Valentine's Day today?
Not
You
yet.
did, Camilla? Alicia gave me a gift. Brand new Gillette razors. Yep. And I'll tell you something about Gillette. What a wonderful company. They give these big packets now. They're huge. They're these really big packets. And then you open it up and it's like one of those little babushka dolls. It just gets smaller and smaller and you pull out 2 pieces of plastic. Very good marketing. So anyway, there's a bit of a marketing lesson there. All right. Let's kick things off. Week 6, got some exciting things that Jen's going to share with you that we're going to jump in and share with you as well. Before we do that, let's kick things off with what was the homework for last week. Does anyone know?
Ask about protein.
Okay, let's try that again. High energy. What was it?
By the book,
Julie had
10
it.
conversations.
Julie, go again. Julie, you don't want to do it again? Come on, hit me again. You hit it. You had it right. What was it? She's now off camera.
Forever strong. Read it.
Yeah, no, Julie's right. Talk about protein.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. So if she's right, it was. So go here. It's not your YouTube. It's actually this. Yes. Have 10 conversations using the framework shared. So about protein. Grab the book Forever Strong. Start reading it. Get 2 enrollments. There you go. Who did all the homework tasks? Susan did. Did you get 2 enrollments as well?
They're in the pipeline.
Great. Awesome. Good place for them to be. Leanne. You did it?
Okay, so I got 2 enrollments. I've ordered the book and downloaded the book, so I've got both. Because I'm going on holiday, so I wanted to read on the beach. And I have had many conversations about protein pacing this week. I've created 1 consultant and enrolled 2 people.
Brilliant.
Wow.
What a week.
Watch out. No wonder you were dancing. Well done.
So good, Leanne.
Excellent. Fantastic. Great. 3 in the pipeline. Angie's got to come in the pipeline. Bit distracted from Andrew. I get it. Managed 6 conversations. Got the book. Awesome. Go, Melanie. Okay, so in the pipeline. Great. Excellent. Did you find when you're having the conversation, it was easy to have a conversation about protein? Easier.
Yes, it was easy. It was easy.
Great. What was the result? What did they do when you started talking about protein?
I think most people just go, oh, wow, I have to have that much. Yes, you do. And let's just sit down and work it out how you're actually going to get it.
There you go. Awesome. Fantastic. Enjoyed it. Katie enjoyed it. Everyone else enjoy having a conversation about protein and yep. Great. How good.
I just wanted to share my little discussion because it was completely off to what I would normally do. But I had my massage therapist. I had the conversation with her about increased protein intake, and she said, I'm not eating enough. She goes, well, what do you use? And I just said, I just use the Isagenix one, just real flippant like that. She goes, oh, can I get that at the chemist?
Yeah, no, special link.
I said, no, but I can get you a referral code so that I can get you a discount code. So let me know if you're interested.
Perfect. Come on. How good.
I don't normally say things like that, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to say, oh, excuse me.
Great. Excellent. Fantastic. Great. Excellent. Wonderful. Do you want to add anything to this, Jen, about the homework and what people did?
No, I think we can get into our training. I would like everyone to notice how many people are on the call, though. Yeah. It's quite fascinating, hey? Happens every single time that we run something. And actually, if you've come to 5 or 6 of these live, can you send me a message and just say, hey, Jen, I came to 5 or 6. I know that life gets in the way and people have big stuff happens. But what if life got in the way for me or Lloyd and Alicia, and we just were like, oh yeah, we're just not going to show up. We said we'd show up for 6 weeks, but we're just not going to. So if you have shown up for 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 6, send me a message, because you're going to get a surprise. I don't know what it is yet, but you're going to get a surprise. Yeah, awesome. But I just want to say too, like, you guys are all going to lead a team, right? Or you are leading a team, and it's just how people are. They say they want to escape from jail, the jail of their life, all the nail, all the stuff on the A. They say they don't want it anymore. They say they want to change. They say they want to have a different life. They say they want their dreams to come true. But when it comes to setting aside 90 minutes, 6 weeks in a row, it seems like it's an impossibility for most people. And it's not a reflection of you. Well, it's a reflection of you if you are one of the ones who've shown up, but it's not a reflection of your leadership. It's not a reflection of who you are that people don't show up. They just don't. Yeah, so you can't beat yourselves up when you run stuff like this and people just don't show up. Everyone always starts off so excited, and then, oh, we actually have to do some stuff we don't like. Oh my gosh, you mean we have to talk to people? What the heck? This is awkward. I don't like this. I'm not going to show up next time because I didn't like doing Canva. I didn't like it. Oh my gosh, I had to do a presentation. And of course it's awkward, right? Because we got to learn some things. If we already knew how to do these things, if it was masterful, it would feel easy. And we'd be doing them and we'd be creating multiple 6 or 7 figures. So of course it feels awkward because it's all new skills that we need to venture out towards where our dreams are, which are outside of our comfort zone. But we just got to keep going and keep showing up. And it's people who show up. And we're going to talk through some numbers. That's what we're going to hit on today.
Awesome.
That plan.
That's the plan. I'll pull up the slides. We have an exercise we'll do to kick it off. I will just say one thing though. I had a message from Anouk last week, and she messaged me saying, I think something like 16 people came to your workshop or replied to Anouk. Is that correct? Some big number.
I've got my online workshop today on 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And I've got 50 registered people.
50. Sorry, I thought 16. I was way off. 50.
50.
50.
50.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm so impressed by that. Yep,
Yeah.
that's a round of applause. That's it. And so think about, I'm going to use you as an example. Think about Anouk over in Europe, all the reasons why these weird Aussies, like, why would I listen to them? And all the reasons to not show up, but comes to each week, implemented, even though it's like scary to do a workshop. Now she's got it going on. This is the foundation for a big business build. So think about the people that didn't get on, what they miss out on in terms of skill development, because you'll get paid millions of dollars later for the skills you develop today, but you won't get them if you don't show up. So there you go. What a great example of implementation. So well done. All right, enough of that. Let's go on. Share. So should we kick it off with this and then move into?
Yeah. So let's go back to our why, right? Like, why are we here? And this is the thing we have to keep bringing people back to. Like, not my why doesn't matter to you. Lloyd and Alicia's why doesn't matter. Camilla's why, Ad's why, Scotty's why, Jackie's why. Like, no one else's why really matters. Only your why. And if there's a secret, if there's any one secret, it's you have to hook back into your why every single morning to make yourself show up every single day. And if you forget to do that, you won't show up. Life will get in the way. Everyone else's plans for your day will be more of a priority than your own plans for your day. It's just how it is. So just jot down right now, like, why, just why again, why, And this is the question that you need to ask yourself every single morning.
So take a moment to write it down. And once you've written it down, just pop your virtual yellow hand up on Zoom. Melanie, we'll come back to your question to at the end, I promise.
While you're writing down your why, so just those of you who have shown up for 5 or 6 out of the 6, can you send me send me a message on Facebook and just let me know, and I'll make a little list. Thank you.
So Joy's done and Andrew's done. Camilla, you're finished. Rose is just showing us a picture of her boys. That's why it makes sense. Fast, efficient. Jackie, you done?
Sorry, I did the thumbs up instead of the hand.
How do you do the hands up then?
Well, good. We can work on a Zoom feature. Let's all figure it out.
So if you click more button, 3 dots, click recognize hand gestures. You can just play with it. I think in your Zoom, you can just hit the 3 buttons. Yeah, the 3 buttons are put above your name. It says raise hand, lower hand. There you go.
Oh, look at the hands going up. So good.
Great. Some of you have shared in the chat. So we're going to do an exercise in a moment. Just make sure you've all nailed it. Just hands right up if you've done. If you finish, you've got most of it there. Yep. Doesn't have to be a book. Usually it's like 1 sentence. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So here's what we'll do now. We'll do a breakout, kick things off. So what you'll do is we'll pop you into groups.
Oh,
3?
we can do, yeah, groups of 3.
Groups of 3 because everyone's engaged.
Mhm.
So we'll do 6 rooms. Person with the longest hair goes first. And just sharing why you're doing this with each other. Okay. And then we'll bring everyone back. All right. So we'll just open the breakouts up. 6 rooms. 60 seconds, share your why, come straight back. And we'll then hear some shares. Person with the longest hair goes first. Bring it back in 4 minutes. Good. Obviously. You're on mute.
Can you read my mind?
Yeah, well, I was just about to read your lips.
Daniel H. Pink Thrive. What motivates us?
Yeah. So far good. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so far, every book recommendation you've given us has done something.
Oh, the
so-
Coaching Habit's fantastic. That's a
Yeah.
great book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
read it years
I
ago.
haven't read it before.
It's
Really
really good. Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's so good. All
Awesome.
network marketers should read it.
Yeah.
Like-
It's a cracker.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's just 3 questions or something and you're a great coach. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. It's a great book. I should read that again. What's up, Jono?
At dinner at the moment. Just that's happening in the background of the ladies.
Jono's having a chat. Okay. Let's bring him back while Jono's on. Have you read the book, Jen, called Pre-Closing?
No.
It's really
Who's
good.
that by?
Tom Schreider.
Oh,
It's a little yellow
that-
book.
is it related to Al?
Yeah, that's it. That's Al.
Oh,
Al's
Al
book.
is Tom?
Yeah, it's called Pre-Closing.
Ah.
Hey, Jackie, welcome back.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Welcome back to the diary room, Jackie.
It's time to go. I know that's the wrong show, isn't it?
All right. Everyone coming back? We lose anyone? Probably not. Not in week 6. These are the
I'm
committed.
excited to hear these.
Mhm. Oh, I'm still in the room.
How you going, Fee? Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Nice
Is
to
it your
meet myself
birthday,
again.
Fee? Today?
Big 50, Jen.
Whoa!
50?
Oh.
Valentine's birthday,
Happy
Fee.
birthday!
Well, we know what we have to do when they come back.
Sing.
Should put it on Facebook. We should go live on Facebook.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's all right.
You know what we should do? This is what we'll do. When we come back, I've got an idea. You got your phone there, Fee?
Always.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull up your camera. Just onto video mode.
And
Welcome back, everyone. We're here for a very exciting, quick project for Fee. It's her 50th birthday today. So here's what we're going to do. On the count of 3, we're just going to scream, "Happy birthday, Fee," and she's going to record it. She's going to record it up this way so she can put on her reels
Aw.
and her stories. Okay, ready? All of us on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy
It's your birthday, it's your birthday, and
Happy
we
birthday.
say many happy returns of the day.
There you go. All right. Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. 50's
So
here.
good.
Congratulations. Who enjoyed that? Great, excellent. Did you meet someone new? Yes, fantastic, great. All right, so we'd love to get some shares if anyone's open to sharing what your why is.
Okay, so since I've taken the stage, I'm going to stay on the stage. So I had Ads and Camilla, and what an awesome group. But the essential thing is there's no greater business. than Isogenics. So that's the big takeaway. But also what Jen shares all the time, that we need to help people. We need to go out and get people to understand that there's better things in the world that they can be doing, and we need to go and give to educate people to get out of that space. So Camilla's become very vocal in that space of trying to move people on, and I commend her. Awesome work.
What's your wifey?
My why was getting out of my shitty job. My why is being able to be the best mum possible and live as an amazing role model. I look at Ange and Andrew and go, wow, that's where I want to be as a role model for my kids. And go, I want to be there for them and be able to spend time with them, but I also want to be that great role model. I know the biggest why of helping homeless teenagers, but that's another side after I sort my own life out.
Next level. Love that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome.
So awesome. And you're on your way out of your shitty job, right?
Yeah, I chose not to work today, and it was very cool. So yeah, it's not that I'm making enough money to be out of it, but I'm definitely on the right mindset out.
So awesome. Very good.
Can I share something, guys? What I wanted to say was it's the only profession that I can think of, and I could be wrong, but the only one I can think of where your income's not capped, you don't have to have a university degree. Like, it's however hard you work, you will earn in reflection of that. So the sky's the limit. You can be unstoppable if you just put in the commitment, and you don't need to have that piece of paper to say that you've spent 4 years at university and you have that huge debt to pay back either. And you can be at home. You can be at home while you're doing it too with your kids if that's what you want. Some people don't want to be at home with their kids. I get that, but
Angie, you wrote up in the comments, people will show up for their jobs every day, but won't show up for themselves every day. Like to build their business on the side. Why do you think that is?
I think for a lot of people, they have an employee mindset. So, and some people just naturally, they feel security in being led, by being directed and told what to do, whereas to actually be motivated enough to reach for something higher can really frighten the heck out of people. It's like that upper limit thing, if you've read The Big Leap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is scary, and because we've been raised to go to school and either go out and get a job or get a university degree, and that's basically it. So this is something that it's never really been spoken about or an option. So you kind of feel like a bit of a unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to add to that, Angie. I'm so glad you said that, because that was one of my whys. I had shared that I want to prove my family wrong, that I don't need a university degree, because they all say that consistently.
I love that, Mel. That's awesome.
Angie out earns all the doctors and surgeons she used to work for.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll
cool.
give them coffees.
That's great. Who else would like to share with their ways? I like Melanie's.
Hello, in our group, I had Julie and Katie, and our main thing was to have financial freedom, also to help a lot of people with their health. My main one was to get my health in excellent order, because I've got another 50 years to work on and lots of projects to get done, and just, yeah, definitely helping a lot of other people.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Super.
Anyone else want to share?
My other share was sorry, I'm interrupting there. My other share was that I didn't want anybody to feel like I feel because of a health issue or a health challenge. Like some of the symptoms that you have from having a disease or autoimmune system can really affect not just your ability to earn, but your mindset. And so that's what I'm finding is really the big difference for me, is that I'm really shifting my mindset because of the clarity of the product, the quality of the product and stuff. So I think it's amazing.
Great.
I'd like to share, Lloydie. I've circled back on this a few times in the last couple of years, and for me, it comes back to owning my time, like really owning my time. I've done multiple businesses. I've done the corporate roles. I've sat in cubicles, and it's not a life I ever want to go back to. And even looking at starting a couple of different businesses over the last couple of years, and they all take TIME, and it's time away from those precious parts of your life, you know, your family. So there's nothing like this business. There's nothing like it. Like, it gives us our time. And how do children spell time? How do children spell love? TIME. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So good. I love that. The decision to own my time. It's definitely what it does. It's wild.
I was just going to go on when we were chatting in our group, we had Leanne, and it was things like, what's going to keep you going when you hit those wall-kicking moments? Like, that's obviously what we're here for. And we both shared that we've had those over our journey, and Leanne's only just now seeing the fruition of all those moments that she's worked through. And that really reminded me, the reason I'm still here is because no matter where I am, I'm going to be the same me, and I'm not going to have success anywhere else. So if I can't forge the skills and grow myself in this environment, then I won't be able to do it anywhere else, and I'll just be stuck forever. I've just got to keep showing up, just got to keep taking those steps that push me out of my comfort zone. And, I'll admit, I've had times where I've looked at other businesses, but the number one thing that still comes back to is I cannot not use these products, and I want other people to use them.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah. So good. I love that. That's a very powerful motivator. If I can't do it here in this environment, with this product, with this company, with this comp plan, if I go up by myself, it's going to be hard. Yeah. So good.
If that's all right, if I can jump in. I haven't been with Isagenix for very long, but I've just been going on this crazy, amazing journey with Camilla and Leah. And honestly, it's continuously almost breaking me out into tears. And I feel like I'm about to cry now, because I've just had such a wonderful, amazing experience, and realizing the potential that I can do and I can be, and everything that it's got so much more structure than just, oh, here's a product, go sell it. It's like, you've got such a, this little group of people, and an even bigger group of people like this. It's just a fantastic experience, and thank you all. Like, it's just been incredible so far. I love it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep. It doesn't stop being incredible, but like someone asked me today, is it still interesting? I'm like, yep, still interesting. It's a puzzle you just never solve, which is great. Great, fantastic. Perhaps we'll just do one more. Does anyone else want to share one that's on their mind, on their heart? Probably is a better word.
Can I just share, just going back to that, like, it brings me to tears still today, and I've been to heaps of Isagenix events, and can I just say, when you're live in an event, and this is almost like a live event, it really touches your heart to know that you've got so many people around you that are here to support you. And I think, Camilla, is that tears out of your eyes too?
Andrew, is that tear in your eyes? I see.
But, like, I've sat in every single event, at every single Isagenix event, and I've been in this industry for 13 years and only been with Isagenix for 10. So I've been here for a little while before Isagenix, and nothing is more powerful than being in the space of people trying to change people's lives and helping you grow yourself. Because, like, I've changed 100% from the person I was 10 years ago to the person I am today. I am like a totally different person. So thank you to everyone, and stay around because it's great.
Yeah. It's so beautiful, and as the years pass by, and some of us have been around for nearly 12 years now, and we really do become each other's chosen family. And it feels like that, like, no matter what, here we are, and it doesn't it doesn't matter. And, you know, last week a few of us were at Jackie's funeral with ads, and you know, it just felt like family. And I just felt this incredible gratitude to sit there and look around and see many of you, and I know many of you who couldn't be there, and who were watching live. But it was just so special. It wasn't just friends, you know, it wasn't just business associates, it wasn't just work colleagues. It was really so much more than that. Yeah, it's really, so I'm for anyone who is new, and Tamara, I'm so happy that you're here and so happy that you're feeling the vibe, because it is the real deal, and it is people, we're just a group of people who want the best for other people, and we're not going anywhere, and we're here to support people through their learning and their growth and their wall kicking moments, and you know, and the hard times. And as long as we do keep showing up. And I remember 12 years ago when I went to my first event and Michael Klaus was speaking, and he said, you know, if you want financial freedom, you just got to keep showing up. And I said to him, we were sitting across in a little pizza restaurant having dinner, and I said, I didn't know that he was like some network marketing trainer or anything. And I said, what do you mean by showing up? Because this industry was brand new to me. And he said 10 to 15 hours a week, one Saturday a month, one weekend a quarter for 3 to 5 years, and you will create financial freedom. He said, what's financial freedom for you? And I said, well, I earn about $100,000 as a physio. If I could earn that as recurring income, and that would free up 40 hours a week for me. And I just kind of get so excited about what I could create then with that 40 hours. So that was financial freedom. But, you know, I just want you all to remember those numbers, because they're the numbers that very few people will commit to and will show up for, you know, and so in my head, I was like, well, I went to university for 4 years, pretty much from 8 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. every night, and then had to do study and everything after that. So 40 hours or more a week at uni, and came out earning half of that, and still had to trade 40 hours a week to earn that $50,000. So when he said 10 to 15 hours a week, one Saturday a month, one weekend a quarter, but I'm thinking, well, I'm a total newbie, so it's probably going to take me 5 years. I'm so in and committed then and there. And, you know, and you're the ones who are here on call number 6. And you're the ones who, if you keep showing up, there's no way that you can't create a multiple 6-figure income. It's just anything that you keep applying to learning and growing, up leveling your skill set, and looking inward. And if you can look inward every day and say, hey, what did I do great today? What did I just smash out of the park today? And really give yourself a pat on the back and go, yeah, you know what? I was awesome at that. But then say, where are my gaps? What did I not do so great today? And then find the answer to that and say, what am I willing to do about what I didn't do so great today? You know, if you can say that, ask yourself those questions every single day, and then reflect back to your why. And just remember, and it's your why isn't to help more people. That's nice. It's nice to help more people. But if your why was really to help more people, you'd be having 20 conversations a day, every single day. So if you think that's your why, find a different one. Dig deeper. Because if you're not having 20 conversations a day about these amazing products, because they absolutely do change health, and you think your why is to help more people, you're just touching on the surface. It's got to be deeper than that. And yeah, Rose, it's got to be selfish to be selfless, but it's you know, it's not even that. It's like we have this idea that we can't be grateful and want more. But we can. The world has taught us we can't. We can't be grateful. We should be grateful for what you have. Just be happy enough. That's what's been taught to us over and over. That's what keeps us in the jail. The jail of, you know, the credit card and the mortgage and the shitty job and sitting in traffic every day and not going on the holidays that we want to go on, not having our kids in the school we want to have them in. But we can be grateful for the amazing life that we have and want more. We absolutely can. But the question is, and imagine that you're in jail, right? Imagine, and you decide that you're going to break out, right? Every waking moment, every time the guard's not looking, every time you're not out having to do whatever your chores are, or you're not in the exercise yard, every time you're back in your cell and you have a moment to yourself and you've decided that you're going to break out, what are you doing? You are madly digging in the corner, working on your escape plan, right? Every waking hour, every chance you get, you're working on your escape plan. That's the only way to get out of jail. Because if we just sit in our cell, we can't go anywhere. Super. So stick with that why, get really clear on it, have it written up where you walk past it every single day. You got to sell yourself, re-enroll yourself every single morning. And how many conversations? He or she who wins is just the person who has the most conversations. End of story. There is no other statistic that matters. Yeah, grind's a great word, Tamara. How do I get out of the grind? Off the hamster wheel. Okay, is that our next thing, Lloyd?
Well, we can probably do the BAM now, actually, like talking about numbers. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, so if anyone who owns a business, right, any business, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's lawn mowing, fish and chip shop, vacuum cleaner shop, like you can imagine any business, there are some daily activities that just must happen or that business will cease to exist, right? Now, the difficulty is our business sometimes just appears like to be virtual, not bricks and mortar. So, you know, we don't have to clean out the fish display because we don't get stinky fish if we don't do it, right? But the truth is it's a business. This is a business. And there are bare ass minimum BAMs, bare ass minimum daily activities that we must do. Otherwise, we don't have a business. Otherwise, we're sitting in our jail cell and we forgot to keep digging the tunnel today. And they're just non-negotiable. And if you don't prioritize them in your diary, you know, paper diary, electronic diary, whatever, but if you don't prioritize your bare ass minimums, they won't happen. There's no way for them to happen. Everything else will happen first and you'll get to the 10 p.m. and you'll just go, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And because the fish don't stink, you'll just do it tomorrow. That's the reality. That's the beautiful part about this business though, right? Like you don't have to pay the rent every week. You just got to buy a few shakes and eat them. It's pretty easy. The overheads kind of keep us comfortable because they're just not there. There's no staff to pay. There's no like, oh my gosh, like there's no money in the bank to pay wages this week. I better pull my finger out. There isn't that pressure. So we have to manufacture that pressure. So we have to set it out ourselves. And Angie, what Angie said is just spot on. Like we have to choose a business owner's mindset over an employee mindset. That's the game we're playing here. And we want you to win. We want you to win this game. And so we want you to know the games that we play in our head, the conversations we have every single day to keep ourselves in the game. Because otherwise the life just takes over and we end up living our life by default, which is everyone else's plan for us, instead of a life by design. So if we want to live a life by design, we must write it in our diary. And I don't just mean the fancy holiday and the nice house. I mean the daily activities that will deliver those dreams. They have to go in our diary and have to be the priority number one. That's just common sense, right? We know this. This is not like some enlightenment conversation right now. Like, you all know this. This is just us all having a conversation to remind each other. And that's what we need to do. Like, people who have created multiple 6 figures or 7-figure incomes don't just have this magical way of doing all the right, knowing what to do and doing all the right things. It's this constant battle in conversation in the head of like, what am I going to do to make myself show up today? What am I going to do to make myself show up today? And to be honest, if my diary wasn't full, I'd probably go shopping. I don't know. Chuck the telly on, have a little flick. If someone comes over, let them stay for a few hours, having a chat. There's got to be, you've got to fill your diary up. So we're going to talk about what to fill your diary with, the things that really matter, so that this business is a business. Cool. Okay. Now, it really is as simple as the 80-15-5 rule. Everyone's heard of the Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule. Yeah. So 18-15-5 is really like 80-20, and then the 80-20 rule applied to the 20. Does that make sense? That's where you get 15-5. Yep. So 80% of people that come into our business are just going to be customers. Happy customers, and we love them for that. We don't want to nag them to come to events. We don't want to annoy them to move their auto ship so that we can win a competition. We don't want to do any of that stuff. We just want them to be happy customers reaching their health goals. That's all they want. 15% want to earn a bit of money, but they're not serious. They're not trying to escape from jail, right? From their jail. They're just like, yeah, I've got a friend, a couple of $100. They're even the ones who say, yeah, I want to earn 100K, and they can only show up for 2 weeks in a row. Or that, yeah, I want to earn 100K a year, but not if it's actually hard, or not if I have to sell something. They're those people, right? And they're okay like that. And then there's the 5 out of every 100. That's us. And we get to hang out with each other for a whole 10 years or longer. And we become each other's chosen family, and we get to figure it out together. And so if you think about what this business really is, there's 3 types of income, right? There's linear income, which is when you earn a PIB, 20% PIB. That's nice. Then there's recurring income. So when every time your customer reorders, you earn, it's about 5%. And anytime any of their customers reorder, it's about 5%. And anytime, if anyone happened to be placed below you by someone else who wasn't you, you still earn 5%. And then you have leveraged income, which is when you're really building a sales team and they're working and you're picking up 5% on everything they do as well. And a little bit more. It's actually 5 to about 15% now because of the team bonus program. Yeah, so you get all those little extra percentages in that first 12 months. So it's 5 to 15%. So it's pretty cool, right? But there's those 2 parts to it. So we go a bit crazy sometimes going, oh my gosh, like, where's my business builders? I feel like I'm doing this all myself. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. Where are they? What's wrong with me? Why can't I develop leaders? Blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, if you look at your numbers don't lie. And so apparently I heard a story, I don't know, because I don't play marbles, but I heard a story that in a bag of marbles, there's 95 marbles. There's 100 marbles, 95 are white and 5 are purple. Right. And the thing is, you can't turn a white marble into a purple marble. You can't like polish it and hope it, you know, the white peels off and it turns out purple. You can't put a purple coat on it. You can't spray paint it purple. You can't just say a prayer and hope you're going to open your eyes and it's purple. It's not going to work like that. You've just got to put 100 marbles. You just got to pull out the whole 100 and they will fall where they want to fall. So once you know that, you got to put 100 marbles in the system, right? If you're going to find 5 purple ones like us. Yeah. And so then if you think about that, remember the traffic light system. So when we're talking to people about their health, some people are like, you might think I'm fat, but I don't think I'm fat. I don't want your products. I've got no problem. I'm healthy, smoking, drinking, 20 kilos overweight, red light. Some people are like, yeah, feeling a bit pudgy, but not really ready for a change. Amber light, yellow light. And some people are like, oh, I'm so done with myself. Jeans don't fit. I'm looking for a solution. Green light. So at any point in time today, when you happen to talk to someone, only one's going to be a green light out of 10. That's just how it is. Humans take their health for granted. Any of us who've worked in health and fitness with humans, we know this, right? Because our bodies, we just think they're like some sort of miracle that's going to go on forever, no matter how we treat it. And it's all good until it's not. That's just human nature. We can't change that. But what we can do is we can have the yellow lights knowing what we do and what problems we solve, so that when they finally decide, yeah, I want my problem solved, I'm going to give Andrew a call. I'm going to give Angie a call. I'm going to give Mel a call. And that's when you feel like, oh, 3 customers just dropped out of the sky. This is really cool. Right? It's because you filled that funnel. Remember back to, I think that was week 2. Yeah. So if you know that you need to put 100 marbles in the system so that you can find your 5 purples, and you know that, who's good at maths? Andrew, you're not allowed to answer this because I know you're good at maths. So, and you know that you're going to need 10 conversations for one person to say yes. How many conversations a week are you going to need to diarize and schedule? Let's say your goal is to enroll 100 in a year. 100, put 100 marbles into the system in a year. That's, by the way, when you think about other businesses, all the businesses on the planet, finding 100 customers for a business is pretty teeny weeny. Like, imagine if a restaurant only had 100 customers in a year. Imagine if you were sold vacuum cleaners and you only sold 100 vacuum cleaners in a year. Imagine, like, think of another, like, it's crazy actually that we can, if we find 100 customers a year, we can earn multiple 6 figures or 7 figures over and over and over and over. Because out of that 100, 5 are going to be purple marbles. And then those 5 are going to find their 100, and there's going to be 5 purple marbles in each of their 100. And those 5 are going to find their 100. Most of the rest will do nothing, remember? But a lot of you are struggling because you're just not putting the 100 marbles in. So your priority, your focus, blinkers on what's the most important activity that you must schedule. Yeah, Camilla, I read your lips. Conversations. Yeah.
Can I just make a note with that, Jen? What you're talking about is that, like, for everyone, it's about how you create traffic. Like, people are trying to have 1,000 conversations, or they're trying to enroll 100 customers, but they're trying to do it like not just one at a time, but no system behind it. So there's no consistency to their conversations. So they might sporadically have some conversations for the week and then go on holidays for 2 weeks. And then they'll go something else for a few conversations. So there's no systemization behind their business. And all businesses have a system to generate traffic and conversation. So a restaurant will advertise and have referral partnerships and have all these different avenues to generate traffic. I was at a conference on the weekend, and the owner of the business owns a company called TV Magic, and he has 20 marketing channels that he gives those franchisees. 20. So it's like, how do you create 20 channels of traffic for you so that you can have conversations with ease, and you're not trying to find or convince Auntie Jane to come into your business because she's going to blow it up because she built Amway 25 years ago. So what's the system you're developing? And so I love that Anouk has Anouk's going to have 50 conversations at once today. So be my guest, do what you're doing. But if you want to scale your conversations, think about how they can come to you for your expertise. And that's why we did the workshop. Get people to come to you so you can have lots of conversations with them. That's your system. That's one channel that Anouk's got. How do you get 19 more marketing channels? And you set that system up, and you won't struggle to have conversations ever again.
So think about these numbers. So Monty, everyone sincere, Monty did the maths for us all in the chat there. Awesome maths. Thank you, Monty. Andrew would have beat you to it if he was allowed, because he would. But so if you're going to have 20 conversations a week, right? Remember, 18 are going to be either a red light or an amber light. Only 2 are going to be a green light. That's just the stats. But it doesn't mean that 18 conversations are completely wasted, because at some point the red lights are going to move to an amber and the ambers are going to move to a green. And you've already had the conversations, or they remember your workshop, or they remember your webinar. So as much as it sounds like, oh my gosh, like 20, how am I going to have 20 conversations a week? Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's not, like, it gets better than that, because some of the conversations that you have this week, they're going to come back to you in 3 months' time after they've been on that 5-week holiday in Thailand, and they've basically rolled themselves back through the door and go, oh my gosh, that's it, Camilla, I need that bloody protein you're talking about. And that person won't be the conversation of the 20 for that week, right? Yeah, the conversations they compound. But if we're not having the conversations, and whether it's doing a presentation, doing a workshop, doing, you know, a live on Facebook, doing a post on Facebook, but then talking to people in the background, not just I'm just going to post and pray and hope someone messages me with their credit card. Like, that's never happened. It's never going to happen for you. It's never happened for anyone else. You will not be the first where someone voluntarily hands you their credit card. I promise. You will have to start the conversation nearly always, unless you just happen to really nail a post. And then sometimes you get them flooding in. But you can't even do those great posts that regularly, right? Because people get tired of it. You got to be just changing it up, thinking about, well, how can I try this? How can I do this differently? So the moral of this whole entire story really is, every morning you need to wake up and think about, what's your why? Why are you going to get into action today? Number 1. And number 2, you're going to ask yourself this question: how do I get myself in front of more people today? How do I get myself in front of more people today? How do I get myself in front of more people today? And it doesn't like, of course you want to enroll personally, but if you're getting in front of, if Lloyd's doing a webinar and 20 of people in his downline invite 5 people each, and there's 100 people on the webinar, and they all enroll 1, that's awesome. That's all BV. That's all customers that came into Lloyd's shop. Like, happy days, successful webinar. And maybe Lloyd will enroll 1 or 2 as well from that webinar. But this is just the reality of business. And there is not an easier business. There just isn't. Like Lloyd, I don't know what you spend on Facebook ads in your other business, but I spend 4 or 5 grand a week on Facebook ads for one of my businesses.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hefty overhead, right? 4 or 5 grand a week. People go, oh, wow. Like,
yeah. It's not even that though as well. It's like, it cost probably about 30 grand cash to set up with no expectation of it going to work out. And you have to not care about money to do that. And you also then have to back it with showing up to the studio and talking off the cuff for 5 straight hours. about topics that are intriguing. So if you can't do that, you don't have a business. And you have to write, and you have, like, when you have to develop your own product, it's more, there's more to it. And all the skills of being able to do that came from Isagenix. So it's an entrepreneurship school for 10 years that you do. And once you do that, you can pretty well run, not all businesses, but a lot of them based on your skills. And so this is the place to generate the skills. It's like entrepreneurship school. That's what it's like. So without this, without first having success at Isagenix, we wouldn't have the other businesses. They wouldn't exist because I wouldn't have the skills to public speak. I wouldn't have the skills to talk in front of camera. Wouldn't have tested the copy around what people needed to know for 10 flipping years. Like, just wouldn't have had it. So you can't just get out of Isagenix, then go all of a sudden be successful in some other end of business. It's just not like that, which is why people come into Isagenix even with us and they develop these great skills and it enhances their other business. Because what you actually learn at Isagenix is cutting edge marketing techniques that actually people in business don't ever really get for another 5 or 6 years later. We were doing social media marketing in 2014. You know how many people were doing that back then? None. We were using Zoom 6 years before COVID.
Wish we bought shares.
Should have
Just
bought things. Yeah, I agree. But
COVID.
you see though, like you're in this realm of cutting edge entrepreneurship and marketing. And so, yes, you've got to have conversations, but you've got to refine your sales skills. And you are building genuine business skills. And they will compound too. And one day, when you have multiple businesses, you'll thank your lucky stars you stuck it out for 10 years here, because it's the only place where you can learn without crippling yourself financially. Because you stuff up, like we stuff up 1 month in our other businesses, and it's like 100 grand in the hole. Like you don't get off. You know, you don't. You get off with Isagenix. That's why you can go away for 3 weeks and nothing bad happen.
Well, I just want to say, Lloyd, it's 100 grand in the hole, but I actually think it's 100 grand in the hole for not doing what you need to do in Isagenix too.
Yeah, certainly it is. But it's an act of omission, so you never get to feel it because you don't look it out. So it's like, yeah.
But if you decide to upskill pronto and get into action and do all the right actions, then you can be earning 100 grand a month. It is possible here. Other people have done it. You know, we've done it. So for every month, you know, the only question is how long is it going to take you to get to that point, you know, where you're 10 out of 10 in all the skills and you're pulling in 100 grand a month. Because for every month you decide to sit in your cell and go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll dig tomorrow to get out of here. Oh, you know, I've got something else on that's more important than my business. That's 100 grand that you threw away for that month, right? 100 grand you threw away for that month. 100 grand you threw away for that month. And some of you have been around for a while. You're sitting on like a big bank account on one side. Just because you've been a great customer ordering.
Yeah, some people have, they call it a binary comp plan, but for a lot of people, it's a unary comp plan. You only have one leg, and it's 3 times easier to build, and getting out of jail is easier. You should spend every waking moment at it. I found it was easier to work at Isagenix every day, digging the hole, than it was to go to a job and ask for annual leave. That's so demoralizing. I think to ask a human being if you can go and live your life, I don't know what other whys you need besides that. That is the only why I ever needed. I'm like, what? I'm gonna ask you if I want to go. I'm out. I checked out. I've had a wage for 3 years of my entire life. There's no way I would ever sign up for that class. But some of you are in there and you're letting it happen. But here's the opportunity to dig out and you're not taking it seriously. So you get to live this demoralizing life for the next 40 years. Like, that's painful. I don't know how anyone can not be motivated to build this flipping thing in the pockets of their time. Like, you wouldn't be able to rip the phone out of my hands for. You would have to kill me. That's why I built, and we still ferociously build like that, because I never want to go back there. So it's a pain-driven, it's a stick, not a carrot. The carrot's great, trips are great, but it's a stick. Because I know if we don't do the work, I've got to go back and ask some idiot if I want to take 2 weeks off for the year. So be my guest if you want to do that, but that's just not in. I didn't experience 400 trillion to 1 chance of life to just live like that. So if you're looking for a why, use that. But that's all I think about every single day. Jen talks about enrolling yourself in your business every morning. The one thing I get, I never want to go back to there. And I have that conversation myself every flipping morning. It's so easy to get on with this business. You talk to people, you make some sales, you make money. It's a crime that we get to make money doing this. Not physically a crime, but it's legal. But it is. It's a joke. I think it's a joke. I look at people and think, oh, I'm so thankful, grateful that we were introduced to Isagenix, because without it, I've got friends that never made it out, and they drink a lot because that's the culture of work. It's Friday night drinks, and it's this, and they're fat, and they've got diabetes. They're going to die early, and they have a terrible life, and they've got this mask that they wear around every day, and they pretend in front of other people, and it's about who can pretend the most. When you escape the matrix, you look in and you want to be sick looking at the way people live their life. And you probably see that in your job every time you go to work, right? And it's disgustingly, it's terrible. It's a bullshit fake existence. So I don't know if you need any more extra whys. I just don't understand how people can't get hold of this and get after it. It just blows me away. So,
and it is true. Like I get that most of us like helping people, but why wouldn't we just want to help 2 people a week change their health, even if we did get paid? You just got to look around and see the pain that people are in. Like they can't even get in and out of their car properly. It's awful sitting up the street, park your car and just people watch for a minute. It's awful watching. They're limping, they're uncomfortable, they're sweating, they're just, life is so hard just because they don't know how to eat a couple of shakes, do a couple of cleanse days and drink some adaptogens. And we get paid to help solve that problem, like the biggest problem on the planet. So we've got to find them. We've got 100 marbles. How are we going to put 100 marbles in the system? Our business system every year. That's how we do our bit. And sometimes we're going to fall a bit short, but we've got to have a goal, right? We've got to have a bare ass minimum plan. And then we've got to schedule and think, how do I get in front of 20 people this week? How do I get in front of 20 people this week? It's just non-negotiable. It's like ordering the fish for the fish and chip shop. If you don't order the fish, you got no fish to sell. What's it going to look like? And when you start asking yourself that question, your brain is going to get really creative around it. And you'll start to think of all the different workshops you can run, all the different webinars you can put together, all the different people that you can call, all the different presentations you could do at different places where there are people who may have an interest in changing their health. All the different businesses you can collaborate with. So I'm just about to enter into a huge collaboration with my accountant around Isagenix and his whole network. Like, he's like, you sucked me in. I really like your shakes and I really want to help people with this stuff. He called me an Evel Knievel. But, you know, so like there's collaborations, right? There's just like so many ways that we can help people. So many ways. It's the only thing stopping us is our level of creativity and our willingness to just give it a go. And we don't know all the answers. You're going to come up with something that's more amazing than I've ever done, for sure. For sure. The people who are really going to blow up this company haven't even got started yet. And I really hope a few of them are on this call. Yeah, awesome. So 20 combos a week, bare ass minimum. First most important bare ass minimum, right? Which will lead to 5 enrollments a month. So when we talk about goals, there's 2 types of goals, right? There's your results goal, which is 5 enrollments per month. But then there's an action goal, that what actions must be done to deliver that result. If you have 0 conversations in a month, you're never going to enroll anyone, right? But if you have 20 conversations a week, that should average out at 2 enrollments per week, which will be actually 8 enrollments per month. And then there'll be a purple marble in amongst them. And they're the one we rank advanced.
I think also on that point, Jen, too, like we're totally okay with 80% of people not wanting to continue to do this. Like, I think people get hung up on like, oh, I got Jenny and Michelle and Barry and oh, they stopped using the products. I'm like, yes, because if that was the case that everyone continued using the products, every gym you ever joined, you'd still be a member. But why aren't you? So why would you expect that all your customers are going to stick around forever? Don't get me wrong, we have some fantastically long customers that will continue to order forever, and we don't talk to them because they're happy customers. But I think that there's two things that prevents people doing this business is they think everyone's going to stay, and that's not going to happen. And you got to be okay with that and let them go and go find more. And you've also got to be okay with the fact that if 80% are going to be just customers, let the products do the work for you. Stop trying to support them, love them, drag them. When Alicia buys, I don't know, new makeup, let's say new makeup, Revlon doesn't call her up and go, "You okay? How's the red lipstick going? You okay? I'll come over and like pat your dog." The products do our heavy lifting. We're in a product-based business, not a service-based business. So if they start for products and just want to be there, let them use the products in peace. Plug them into the community, make sure they know where to finance for things and be supported, but you don't spend time with those people. You're out there looking for the next crew to come in and the next crew and the next crew. And so it takes a lot of, like, you will need your 100 for the year to figure out if you've got one or two good people to work with. And how you'll know is they'll automatically be referring people and they'll lean into you. They'll ask you, they'll tell you, they'll step to you. And so many times people will step to people. If they stop stepping back to you, stop stepping to them. Otherwise, you're just going to burn yourself out. So not everyone's going to stay. You got to be okay with that. And the product people that do stay, let the products do the magic. And you go off and find some new people and some new builders. Okay, that's your job. And if you can be okay with that, then I think you'll last.
So as long as you know you've delivered them the information, so like here's their problem, here's their goal, their wish or their dream, right? And you've mapped out the plan for them. Like for me, it's just the 11-day every single time, 11-day, and then shake days till the end of the month. Here's my little guide, boom, there's my Facebook group. It's all sitting there. There's not much else to do. And I like to get them on a little group call where I can let them ask me a few questions, and I just start fishing a little bit. I start talking about the money a little bit. I mention, if you know anyone who wants to do this program as well, we'll probably kick another 11-day off, probably middle of the month. If you just want to connect them up with me or just invite them in, Isagenix pays 20% of anything they buy. I can show you how to hook your bank account up and everything like that. And then I just watch who leans into that. And like at the moment, I've got this one lady, she's just taken it upon it. It's like you said, Lloyd, she's just taken it upon herself to do all these posts about what she's doing. And she's like, oh my gosh, I've got all these people so interested. And that's the only money conversation I've had with her. Like that she's showing, I'm like, you could have a purple here.
And the other thing too is when you find a purple, you still don't need to do that much. Like we used to, as soon as we found a purple, we'd be like, get on a Zoom with them and this and that, and you push, and then they just quit because you exerted too much pressure on them. What we've learned to do is actually not much, because it's a leveraged business model. They keep stepping and you just step when they step, then you don't have to do anything extra. They'll ask for what they need. Like they'll say, hey, how do I do this? Now, how do I do this? Now, how do I do this? And you're just there to help them and guide them. And like the best people in your business require almost zero work, truly. So it's not about forcing a square peg into a round hole, which is what most people are trying to do in this industry. It's just, the less we've worked at this business, the richer we've got. It's weird, but work on the prospecting, because it's the number of customers you're bringing in that matters the most. And then work on a system like Jen's where you're having a call with them and you're having the conversation about sharing, and see who naturally does it. And if they do it naturally, then spend a little bit more time building the relationship with them, not telling them, now go get the executive map, now do this, now do that. Just build a friendship with those people. They'll figure out the business stuff. You don't need to be this, I don't know, coach on them. Just be with them. Just get to know them, and they'll run. They'll run without you, you know. That's what I think. Well, I've learned the long and hard way.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Where are we up to?
All right, good question. Let's do this. We're up to,
I
well,
think it's just the song. That we-
yeah, we're just doing this part, which is what song are you singing?
That's so I'm looking at the comments Melanie's wrote. She's so happy how quickly she noticed a red light and then eased off. In the past, you would have pushed because you're not aware. I know, it just feels so good to let go, doesn't it? It's like, don't need to waste my time here. This person's is just not ready. And then you can move on to the next conversation. And it's not, you don't get all stuck in, oh, it's about me. I'm not good at this. Did I say the wrong thing? Yeah. Okay. So next exercise. This one's about what song are you singing when it comes to Isagenix? Anyone want to have a guess what we mean by that? What song are you singing? Melanie, you want to have a guess?
I'm gonna go with it's like your driving force of how you see yourself, of how you see yourself building the business. Are you someone that's pushing through like the song Unstoppable, or are you something else and just kind of lingering?
Kind of, well, a little bit. That, like, I get where you're going with that for sure, because that's giving off your vibe and, like, you know, here I am and this is what I'm doing. What we mean by that is more, what message are you giving out on repeat about Isagenix? Or like, what's your way of talking about it? How do you explain it better, Lloyd?
Yeah, what's the consistent messaging that you're putting out there? So like, what song are you singing about Isagenix? So what would you say Jen's song has been with Isagenix lately? Pretty simple one, I'd imagine. What's the song that Jen's been singing?
Protein.
Yes.
Need protein.
Yes. I don't know if you've noticed, the event's called Forever Strong, and so is the book. So there's obviously this consistent messaging around protein and strength from protein. Like, that's the song.
Yeah. So whenever I talk to someone, whenever I get into a conversation, one of my 20 conversations every week with someone, it's like, and I find out what their health problems are or goals are. I'm like, well, how much protein are you having? It's just the standard question. And they're like, every single person's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You have to know. Like, they're like, why do I have to know? Like, because you need lean muscle mass. Like, every disease that humans get is directly correlated to a decrease in lean muscle mass. And if you don't eat protein, or which is just the umbrella term for amino acids, you can't have lean muscle mass. And so you got to get the good protein. And they're like, well, what sort of protein do you have? And I look, what you say, Katrina? Isagenix. Oh, I use Isagenix because I can't find a better one. I've checked everything, and it's a lot cheaper than steak. And I really like a good steak, but steak's expensive. I throw that in there, and they're like, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, "My shake's like $5. Can't get a decent steak for that. Definitely under 10."
In 10 years.
Sorry, Luke.
In 10 years, we're not going to be able to have this conversation. Because Jen will have had it so much and she'll be dominant, like a whole other level in the business, and we'll have missed the boat on this blue ocean strategy. So 10 years ago, they were talking about shakes and fasting. Now it's protein. So this is the new message. So if you don't get in front of this one, we're going to lose the opportunity for the next 10 years. Because in 10 years, I promise, we're going to go,
but wait, there's more. But then there's 2 power up moves. So yes, you got to get adequate amounts of protein. So grab your calculator, type in your body weight and multiply it by 1.6. What do you got? That's what I get them to do. And they're like, 121. I'm like, that's how much protein you need every single day. And if you don't get that, your muscles are going to waste away. And then you're going to get all the diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, infertility, polycystic ovary syndrome. All of them are directly correlated to a decrease in lean muscle mass. Menopause symptoms, no one wants them. So you got to get that, you got to eat your protein, but there's 2 power up moves. Do you want to know what they are? You guys know, right? Intermittent fasting. You must do some intermittent fasting. So good for you. And you must use adaptogens because everyone's walking around stressed and wired, and that elevates cortisol, and that's a fat storage hormone. Cortisol makes cellulite and it makes us dumber, and no one wants to be dumber. So we've got to use adaptogens to help our body deal with stress. And that's it. That's my song over and over and over. And it's like, oh, it just works such a treat.
You know, I was telling Jen there yesterday that I had a conversation with a PT for a business conversation. Now, I haven't tried this song on a PT. I rarely even do them anymore, to be honest. But I was like, I'm going to try this song on this PT. Now, who would be on a Zoom with a PT and expect the PT to have all these objections about the products? Yes. Well, I sung a different song and I said, you know, there's three things we need. You know, as a PT, people need more protein, 1.6 grams per kilo, right? He's like, yep. I was like, and you know that cortisol is a problem with adrenal fatigue, and that's what causes holding onto fat from stress, right? He's like, yep. I'm like, as a PT, you also know that, yada, 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 right? So I gave these 3 tenets, the ones that Jen's talking about, and he just went, yep, agree, awesome, how do I sign up?
Lloyd's just like,
I was like, great. It speaks their language. It's physiology. It's nothing to do with products. You're showing them what people need. And it's just, I don't think I've ever had an easier conversation with a personal trainer for a business opportunity. And at the end of the call, he's like, all right, I want to blow this up. I was like, I didn't even mention the money. It's just this, you speak that language.
I wish I knew this stuff when I was trying to enroll Andrew. That's all I've got to say. It would have been so much less painful. Would have taken less than 18 months.
A record time.
You're very quiet tonight, though.
I was just about to say I'm not commenting at all. Which is, well, since you have brought me in, I do want to say one thing. It does circle back to some stuff that was said before, but I remember being on Lloyd and Alicia's when they very first started, training their own team and started running their own Zoom calls and, you know, stepping into their own leadership. And I came in as a guest on sort of one of the final calls. And I remember right at the end, I was doing sort of like a Q&A guest thing at the end of a call. And a lady said to me, will you guarantee this works? And I said, no, but I'll guarantee you what happens if you don't do this. And I said, the guarantee is that you'll just spend the next 40 years doing exactly what you did today, and you'll retire and you'll be like, oh, that was it. Like, and so when we come back to why do people not show up on these things? Because there's no guarantee that you get off this call and an hour later your life is any different. There's no guarantee that you have 20 conversations next week and your business is any different. But the guarantee is if you do those things consistently, week in and week out, your business will change. It's just we don't see it in those micros, but we know that if we go to work from Monday to Friday, we will see a paycheck. And so we take that short-term sugar hit guarantee, the long-term guarantee. And yeah, and we, you know, obviously with Jen and Jono from the very early days, we learned so much off Michael Klaus as well. It was just that formula, 10 to 15 hours a week, one day a month, one weekend a quarter. And it actually, that's just what we have done for, and it was like, we're not going to be the fastest, we're not going to be the loudest, we're just going to be the most consistent. And, you know, here we are, Scotty, Ads, Camilla, like, there's no secret, but the guarantee is that if we quit, then we just live the next 40 years as we did today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't like that one.
Would it be all right if I said something for a second?
Of course, Ads.
It's been a pretty big week in sport, as they would say. And I was speaking to Foxy at Jack's funeral, and I got into Isagenix for the money, hands down. Scotty pestered me for health for 3 months, 13 weeks. And I said no 13 times. I thought I got into it for the money. Maybe I got into it for the time that Jack and I were able to spend with our kids through their teenage years. So I break Isagenix down into 4 areas. It gives you time, it can give you the money, gives you health, and it gives the people that you want to surround yourself with in life every day of the week. And, you know, you can look at this screen and some of the best times that we've had in these last 10 years have been with everyone that's on this. And if you're new, hold on, because your life changes the moment you decide to give it a crack, and not dip your toe in, you know, this is the best business that anyone could ever have, hands down, for all those reasons.
Yeah, so true, Ads. So true. Thanks, buddy. Cool. Okay. Now we'll give it a go as a toe dip. Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's got to be a proper crack, like Ad said. Yeah. Lloyd, do we have another slide? I can't remember what some.
I think we just.
We do. We're just gonna.
Q&A?
We're just Q&A at the
Plan?
end. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Audit, like doing how to self audit. What did you do? Well? What did
Yeah,
you-
take a quick screenshot of that, because that's like your end of day questions. And even you could change, see how we've got there, what is my plan to fix the gaps? You know, I think an even more powerful question is, what am I willing to do? Because that's the real, like, but I think, you know, it's when we flick from the point of, well, you know, when we feel frustrated and we're like, I feel like I'm working, I feel like I'm doing it, I want it. And whatever it is in life, it could be this business, it could be anything. But it's so easy, and you see a lot of people do it. They look externally for why it's not working. Oh, well, the company canceled my favorite product, or, you know, they don't pay the same bonus they used to, or I didn't get a big leg built for me, or, you know, there's all these external reasons that people blame for why they're not where they want to be. But it's when we actually realize that when we acknowledge that we've got some limitations, and we look for our ceiling, and then we look inwards, that's when we really start to move forwards. Because if we just keep looking externally, we just get more and more frustrated. And then the more frustrated we get, the less fun it is, and the more likely we are to quit, because it takes all the fun away. But none of the limitations are external to us. All of the limitations are inside of us. And that's kind of hard to take on the chin some days. But it's also the only empowering way to think about it, because if it's if it's in me that the limitation is, if it's in me that the gap is, then I have the power to fix that, because I can't change anything external to me. I can't make Lloyd and Alicia enroll 10 people this week. I can't make any of you do anything. This business is unique in that everyone's a volunteer. No one is anyone's boss. So we can't tell people what to do. We can't do the carrot. We can't do the stick. We can't say, you know, you must do this today. There's no performance reviews. There's none of that stuff, right? All we can do is look inwards and say, what did I do great today? And what did I not do so well? What are my gaps? Where could I get better? Where could I show up more? Where could I upskill? Where could I up level? What do I need to learn? Where do I need to grow? And what am I willing to do about that? And the more often we do that, and the more consistently we do that, that's how we blow this up. Awesome. Now, do we have some time for questions? Anyone got any pressing questions, or anyone want to share something?
Melanie, you got a question? You're just like holding your hand up to stretch out your back.
No, well, all of the above.
Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah, woo. One of my calls today, I'm trying to find my book. I've got so many notebooks around, it's crazy. There's a gentleman that I was speaking with. So he's in remission from cancer, but currently he's doing dialysis. And dialysis was it's taking like 20 hours a day and depleting him. And the block I got, and I was like, I didn't know how to overcome it, was he's like, my doctors tell me I can't have any more protein.
Yeah, and
So
Melanie, so quick answer to anyone who's significantly ill and under medical care is they need to have anything approved by their doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the doctor won't approve it, the doctor won't approve it. Next conversation. There's nothing you can do.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I figured. I kind of put it as a red flag, or a red light, and
yeah,
cool.
unless you're talking to someone who's specifically looking for an alternate and very open and is of the opinion that their doctor maybe doesn't know what's best for them, unless it's that person who might be a good friend and you're kind of helping them out. Otherwise, I would just stay away from stuff like that. And I would do like what I did when I was pregnant. I took all of the products to my obstetrician and I said, hey, what can I have? And he looked at them all and he said, all of them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I had asked him if he was interested in the anything around the adaptogens because of
anything.
it
doesn't matter. Anything needs to go to his doctor to have his doctor check it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
What will happen too is that you will think that Isagenix, because it looks like a miracle, you'll think it's medicinal. You'll feel like it is, because we talk about these fancy terms like adaptogens and da 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 da. It's not medicinal. It's not a pharmacy product we have here. We have natural nutrition that people eat. It's not gonna fix things. And I think if you work that out, one thing I often say to answer this question with Tamara in the chat about people with high blood pressure and diabetes, I try not to bring up any diseases. Like I say, does the person eat food? Say yes. I say, well, I think they'll be okay trying this. Like if they're having McDonald's and they're diabetic and they've got high blood pressure, that's worse and almost guarantee they're having McDonald's. So try not to get too in a conversation about someone's diseases. That is, you're on the wrong track. If you're talking about diseases with someone, you're way off track. You're just saying, hey, I found a new way to eat. It's a program. Maybe take a look. That's it. Just do not get in the conversation with diseases with people. It's not what we do. It's got nothing to do with Isagenix, literally. Like, there's a reason why they have those issues, because they're way off track with their nutrition, typically.
Yeah.
And a thing I learned from you, Lloyd, as well, is if there's foods that they've not been if they've been asked to avoid certain foods, look at what's in the products, and if they're in those foods, you go, oh, well, that's it. Like I had a lady stop using the stuff because she was given a list of foods that she couldn't eat. Like, okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to argue with
and yeah, and so really, if you're in doubt, just go to isagenixhealth.net and put whatever thing in diabetes or whatever into the search term, and then send them a link to that information, and that's about all you want to do, really.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to go there. It came about because of the Whoop question. I said, what do you want? And then he started talking about that. So then do I just go, oh, okay, cool, thanks, goodbye?
Yes. It doesn't sound like it's for you. It doesn't sound like it's for you. All good. Meanwhile, how's the kids? Done. Move on.
Yeah. Or if he was like, if it was someone who said, oh, I'm really keen to try your thing, you would have to say, hey, I'll flick you a list of all the ingredients and you would need to take it to your doctor. Yeah. That would be, yeah, go down that way. Okay, so is there any more questions, not product questions, more about the getting to executive type of questions?
Is it just going to come down to, because I know I've spoken to you, Jen, about trying to find people who are sharing? Is it just going to keep coming down to numbers?
It does, and it does come down to conversations, right? Like, so that person, for example, that wants you to help them with their business, I saw you in the chat. Yeah, so that would be a conversation about, well, I would get on the Zoom with them and get them to tell me about their comp plan, and I'm pretty sure their comp plan is going to be shite compared to ours. I mean, like, oh my gosh, like hard work. I mean, maybe their comp plan's amazing, but I've looked at a lot of comp plans and they've all got a lot of holes. And so, yeah, but it's how, like, you know, we've had a couple of conversations about some people and helping them get into, it's how we say, like, sometimes you can't say to someone, do you want it? I'm not saying you do, Katrina, but for as an example, you can't say to people who are customers, do you want to do the business? Like, there's no better way to get someone to run away fast. Like, that's what David Jilk said to me. Oh, so he's like, Sarah and I are earning $2,500 a month doing the business. Do you want to do the business? And I was like, are they crazy? Because I had 2 businesses. I was up to here 60 hours a week. And I'm like thinking I'm focused on $1 million a year. And he's like, a business for $2.5 grand a month? I'm like, no, thank you. Right. So that it's easing into it, but also if someone can't find 5 customers pretty much by themselves with not a lot of help, they're a long way from being one of your purple marbles. Not saying they won't ever be, and that we shouldn't always be open to that, but you don't want to be dragging them, polishing them, putting the coat on them, all of that stuff, because yeah, they're just showing that they're a white marble, right? And they've probably got to go to a ton of Tony Robbins events before they're going to be a purple.
But can I just say something here? Sorry. Hi, I'm in the gym. Sorry about this. I've created probably 4 or 5 consultants since this Run to Executive started, and I've got 3 one-eyed pirates. So I'm gunning to go for 10. I was hoping by week 6, but it's just I'm a little bit short. But I changed my language when I'm enrolling people, and I just started to really focus on what's the benefit of them having someone start with them, and just talk to them about the benefits of starting with either their partner or a friend, and how much 2 people doing it together, or even a group of 3 doing it together, can really help you with your goals. And I've had really good response, actually.
Yeah, I've tried that as well. I just want to do it for me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just sorry, hold there, Katrina. You can't just say I've tried that, because you can't. There's not one thing that is a no. That you can't make a blanket statement like that, right?
So you've got to practice, and practicing makes you come up with all different creative ways of saying it, and getting really comfortable. I think posture is everything when it comes to talking about this, because it comes through, the more you say it, the more you practice it, the more ways you become creative, the easier the conversations become. But you've got to start with, the hard conversations to begin with. So that's just my little 2 bombs worth. And I mean, I've been practicing it, and it's getting easier for me now. So it's good. So
yeah, I would say there's like 10 different ways to create consultants, and it might be like I said to the ladies this on the Zoom, hey, if you know anyone who wants to jump in the next program, just hook them up with me here on a 3-way, and I'll help them get started, because I just want to make it easy for them to see the money the first time, right? So there's just so many different ways, and it's getting into that conversation and depending. But if you're really struggling to create consultants, I'd do a little bit more digging on your money story and what's going on around money for you. And so you shake your head, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've still got a money story, and I earn over $1 million a year. We all have money stories.
Yeah, and I can't figure it out. Like I feel like I've done a lot of work on mindset and money story. I just don't know how that's relating to like helping someone become a consultant, like getting them to share. You know, I can't see one.
There is one, because your money story is your bank account's directly reflective of your money story. So you have money stories for sure. If you don't, unless your bank account's abundant and where you want it to be, you have money stories. We all do. Our money story is our bank account.
How do I figure that out?
I would go to an event called Money and You and let the games figure out why your subconscious can't find. It's about $4 grand.
Great idea. It's a great course.
Do that. Because you can't spot it because you subconsciously don't know where it is. And so that particular 4-day event with the games, Jen referred it to us a few years ago. The games will bring it out, and you will see it. That's for the money story. A little adding part to that is, which one of your customers are you friends with? Not you personally. This is for the whole group. How many of your customers are you friends with? Where am I seeing them on your Facebook? You hanging out with them, right? Katie probably just cracked this code recently because I saw one of her customers at her house on the carpet, but it took her 8 years to do that. So you don't have to wait that long. It's like, are you developing friendships from the customers who have got results, who are easy to work with, fun? Where are your friendships? Where are your friendships in your business? Doesn't mean you have to become friends with every single customer, as I said, but the ones that are easy and fun and enjoy the products, where is the friendship going beyond that point? And the answer is nowhere. That's probably why they're not sharing, because there's not a level of trust there where they know what's going on. So if you're all anyone on the call struggling to create consultants, it's because we go out of our way to develop friendships with our good quality customers. And it's just banter and fun. We don't talk about the products much. We just hang out with them, talk and build a friendship. I would encourage everyone to do that. It's like having not 10 consultants on your map. Get 10 friends. Like, get your customers in and say, where are your 10 friends? So if you can go to dinner or lunch with 10 people, then you're probably going to have 10 consultants. That would be a good litmus test, I would think. Do you agree, Jen?
Yeah, there's definitely deeper conversations to be had. And sometimes just there's several conversations. I could think about a couple of consultants that I've got ready to pop who were completely cold to me. It's just taken time to get to know exactly what makes them tick, and just a couple of phone calls, and yeah.
And if they don't want to hang out with you, like Katrina's put in chat, why not? Just audit it. I'm not suggesting you have to have the answer now, but there's more to it, right? Is it too clinical? Where's the fun? Like, I don't know. Collaborate with Katie and ask her how she got her customer to go to her house. Like, that's what you want to see more of. I knew Katie cracked the code when she showed me a picture of her and her customer sitting on the floor going through some stuff, hanging out. I was like, oh, she gets it. Like, it's not just a get a customer, get a customer, get a customer. It's get a customer, get them results, and then find out how to make friends with them.
Can I interject? I actually like what you guys are saying. I was just thinking about what Katrina was actually saying as well. This has been recent, obviously along the line. Like, I knew Leah when I was 12 years old. We went to school together, and when that was it, we cut off. We didn't know each other anymore, and got back in touch through Facebook. And I just kept watching what she was doing, and just went. She sent me a few messages, and I wasn't sure at the time, and all the rest of it. And then I went, actually, I really like what you're doing here. What are you doing? And then boom, it was like I found a way in, and actually found that actually worked in. So sometimes it's like, and then listening to her say, well, now she doesn't have to work at the prison she was working at, or whatever she was doing before. And I go, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and Katrina, many are interstate and international, so you can't just go and sit on their carpet, or them sit on yours. But same for all of us, right? And I think about my last 5 consultants, I've not ever met them in person. but there's been more than a quick, oh, by the way, you can earn 20% PIB if you want to refer some people. Like, it's really understanding who they are and where they're at, and just conversations, just, you know, like what's going on in their life, and yeah, deeper stuff. Which
Can I
comes out, which a lot of it comes out when you find out their A and their B.
I
And their
just wanted to-
struggles and their obstacles and all of that stuff.
Can I add something there, Jen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so obviously
What's going
I'm
on?
building a business back home a lot as well as here in Australia. And you know, for me, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom is the most amazing platform because you can still see people. And I think it's all about, you know, what Jen's been talking about for years. It's about having those meaningful conversations and creating a space for people where they feel safe to share what they want to change and how they feel, and then not be scared to want to help and to move into that space. I think I never forget, I built this relationship with, you know, Jessica and Jen, and when I got to Sweden, it was like I knew her. I had met her, but so I think there's hope for everyone who's got people they love and care about, or who wants to build in different places. And I think what Lloyd is talking about the carpet is just really caring about people in a genuine, congruent way, where
Yeah.
they know that you actually care. It's not a sale all the time, you know. Isn't that right, Lloyd? It's about having that genuine, and when you can, obviously meet and create memories, or, you know, build a friendship. That's, I just wanted to add, I think you can do it in many ways.
Yeah, it's more difficult to build rapport on Zoom. It's easier to build rapport in person, and I think if you're learning rapport in person is more potent, and then you move that skill set to Zoom. But if you're wanting to work on the skill set, of course, trust is built faster in person. And I can't think of anyone of our associates. We've had people go executive. We haven't met them yet as well. But like Jen said, there's a lot of there's conversations not related to Isogenics. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, how do I say? You've got to connect on things outside a little bit, but you've got to have intention to want to be friends with them. Like,
It's like, Camilla, when you pulled that event together in Sweden, and we sat with for 2 days with those 20 beautiful women. Like, it's like, it feels like, I feel like I'm a Swedish sister of this big family, you know, after 2 days. And it's just, that's how, that's the level of kind of relationships. And that's why it feels like our chosen family, where we all just stick it out together, and we figure it out together, and we genuinely have love for each other. You know, it isn't pretend. It really isn't. I know some of you have to go, and some people have already left, so we wanted to share something else with you before you do. Is there a slide, Lloyd?
just checking. Yes, there is. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Awesome. So for those of you who want to hang out for another 3 weeks, we are going to show up same time, same bat channel, and it's going to be an implementation call, right? So it's going to be, come along, the plan to do your BAMs, right? 20 conversations a week. And we're going to jump on, and it's going to be like, let's talk about what you did great, what were the gaps, what were the problems, what were the obstacles, where were the struggles, you know, more like the nitty gritty stuff. So we'll be here. You don't have to come, but you can come. And yeah, we're just going to kind of like a big brainstorming session, nut it out. But it's not Netflix, right? Like, it's can't do the stuff and come having something to talk about, other than I didn't get to it because the cat got sick and I had to take it to the vet, and then the dog got sick, and you won't believe how bad the week's been, and any of that stuff. Like, I get it. We get it. All stuff happens. but it won't be those conversations, right? Because that stuff happens. So yeah, it'll be implementation. What did you try? What didn't work? What fell flat? What do you need help with? What are you thinking of? How can we polish it up and improve it? Whatever it looks like. So we will be here for anyone who wants to join us.
That's amazing. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So good. It looks like I'm going to be busy in the caravan, right?
Yes, you are.
Leanne, I just want to say a huge congrats and high five to you for just the level of action that you are in and the results that you're seeing. And I know now you've got an extra 3 weeks, and I know you're going to hit it. And I think you were already as exec, right? And you're going paid as you're doing it again. And it's just, you've just got this glow about you, and it's so cool to see you smash through the brick wall, because I know how frustrated and how you've been and how hard you've been working. And it's really special to see a lot more smiles and fun, and you actually getting the results that you deserve.
Thank you. And thank you. Literally.
So I'm excited that you can say you did it, because I know you'll do it in the next 3 weeks.
Well, I'm determined to do it, because I'm almost halfway there. So it's like I'm going to get there. So it's very good. I've got some appointments booked up already for next week, and I'm having an in-home on Tuesday as soon as we get back from Forever Strong. So I've already sent invitations out, and I've got about 5 new people coming to that. So we're hitting the ground running.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and so on that note, everyone, don't get into the comparison trap. The only thing you need to compare is tomorrow with today, right? And doing a bit better, and showing up and just going, hey, am I going to do the things that really matter today? Every single day. That's all. And then your Leanne results will absolutely come, because there's no way they can't. Because she's been banging her head hard for a long time. There's been a lot of tears, and but it's worth it. Is it worth it, Leanne?
100%, because every time that there's tears, it's a breakthrough, right? So if you give up, like there's so many times that I'm running Jen at one stage and said, that's it, I'm quitting. Talk me out of it. So because there's so many times that you can do that, and we're dealing with people, guys, and people are hard sometimes, and you've got to build that muscle of just flicking it off the shoulder all the time, and just saying, just like thinking about everybody as having their own journey, and it's not your journey, it's their journey, and like being strong in that moment, just to say it doesn't matter, I'm just going to keep going, because as I say, if not this, then what? Because I couldn't think of a better place that I'd rather be than right here. And I know that I haven't put in all of this time and work for growing myself, and I don't want to go anywhere else, because I can't think of anything else that I would rather do than do this. So thank you for everyone for your patience and your guidance and your support, because I need it all. So thanks.
So good. Awesome. So we shall see you next Wednesday. Anything else, Lloyd or Alicia? Are we good?
Well done on
Covered
everyone getting to
everything?
this point. Congratulations, and you've earned the right to another 3 sessions. But make sure you ride the bike. The harder you ride the bike this week, the more you'll get out of it. So if you haven't got on your bike in the next week, you won't get anything out of it. I'll say that. So go and make as many mistakes as play big this week in 7 days, and come back with as many skin knees as possible, because we can teach you how to ride the bike better when you've got more bruises on your body. So,
Yeah. 20 conversations. So remember, every morning, focus on you, your why, tap yourself back in, then straight outside of you to who can I help? Who can I help? Who can I help? Who can I help today? 20 conversations, and we'll see you next week.
See you Saturday.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Yeah, even better.
Next weekend.
How good's that?
Awesome.
See you
Bye.
Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Well done.
So good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, guys.